Welcome back and thanks for joining me for another garden video. This week I'm updating the indoor garden again, and these are the onions that I planted from last week. They did a lot of growth and I got more fill-in from the seeds. I also did plant an additional tray of shallots. I do have more of those, and they seem to be the ones that have grown the most. So what I'm showing here is the caps that are on the onions, the seed caps. They don't tend to fully come off. It's not a problem. What you just want to do is come in and clip the seed caps off the top of the onions. Typically, when you grow onions, you're going to end up cutting them about 2 or 3 times. I should have researched it. I don't know the exact reason why, but you do come and trim off the tops a couple of times on them. So I just cut them back, and this is what they look like now after they've been trimmed. So I will do that for the shallots. I'm just going to wait a little bit because they're about a week to a week and a half behind, and there were a lot of sprouts coming up for that. But all of the onions did get a little chop. And here I've got some growth on the herbs that I planted. So some of the lavender has come up, the different types of lavender. None of my peppers have come up and none of the thyme, but the rosemary back there does have a few sprouts, and I was really concerned about that one since the seeds were so small. Now this particular plant, I don't know what it is, and I'm going to have to pull it. It's coming up in my pepper tray, and none of the other peppers have come up. Down here I've got some more lavender that's sprouting, and when I started the shallots, I did start another tray of lavender, so some more of that is sprouting. And again, everything's looking pretty good for the things I recently did. Just a quick view of what the pineapples are doing, and for the most part, they're growing. They're green, they're happy, they're healthy, and I will be fertilizing these soon. I try to fertilize them once every 2 to 3 weeks. Over here is my aloe, and I don't believe this year she's going to give me a flower. I did get a flower last year out of this one, but I don't think it's going to happen. But there's been a lot of recovery and straightening on my aloe, which I'm very proud I was able to fix that. And then with the ginger and the turmeric, I'm a little concerned as the leaves are getting crispy on this one, and I think I'm going to just have to end it and use whatever's underneath. That's from the summer. The other turmeric looked to be okay, but both of the turmeric and ginger are browning out on the leaves. I meant to record how I did this, so I'm going to link the video from the rustic garden, which shows I haven't had success this time around with ginger. So I'm trying this method, which was soaking it in hydrogen peroxide and water mixture, and then putting it in a plastic bag for humidity and setting it on a heat pad. I can't do any worse than not really having but 3 sprouts. So I figured I'd try this before just planting what I have out for the season. So I just did this yesterday. I'm going to update this in about a week, see what's happening, if it's molded. But based on what the rustic garden suggested, check it every 14 days. So I wanted to come up here really quick and give an aerial view of the floor plan to the garden and just kind of explain my thoughts on what I'd like to do in the garden for this coming season. We're here on the arch trellis. There's going to be my melon and small gourds, things like acorn, butternut squash, kajari, cantaloupe. All of that is going to go on that trellis. I did extend and put a concrete border with beds on both sides of the trellis. And on this side, in the early spring, I'm going to plant lettuce. And on this side, in the late spring, early summer, I'm going to put 1 or 2 ground cherries on that side, which will help in providing a little bit of ground cover for the squash at the base. vertical on this side of the trellis where you see this wagon and the pavers there. In that space, I'm going to put grow bags with the pineapples to get them out of the indoor garden for the summer season. And then to the left of where the strawberry patch is, I'm going to put grow bags here with potatoes. I don't want to put anything permanent because I still need to get access to the compost bins, but I do want to put some grow bags there. I don't want to put anything permanent because I don't want to stop the access because I do have to get in for the compost, but grow bags are going to go there. On this part of that raised bed, this is where the strawberries are right now. On this part, I'm going to have some tomatoes. And then over here in this raised bed, last year, it was kind of my short season things. Earlier in the season, I did carrots. Then I put onions in there. It also had a squash in there, some cucumbers. Well, this season, so this bed will have hot peppers in it. I'm doing habanero, big Thai, Korean hot pepper, Hungarian wax, and jalapeno. So this one will have those in there. The next bed over will have tomatoes in here. The next bed over will have my sweet peppers. On this trellis, I want to do larger gourds, direct them up, potentially put them in like a larger grow bag and let them grow along the trellis. In this raised bin, I still have the garlic. Not sure, it did weather the snow. It doesn't look like it's completely dead, but the garlic is going to be in here. And then once the garlic comes out, I'm going to put short season growing things like carrots and radish. Along the back fence, I'm going to potentially put a long rectangular grow bag and put the cucumbers in it so I can rest the trellis against my fence. But I'm also going to put the grow bags of sweet potatoes along here. I really did like how the sweet potatoes fared in the grow bag, so I'm going to do that again with those. Back here, and this 3x3 raised bed are going to be more tomatoes. And this 4x4 raised bed, it's going to be, and this 4x4 raised bed is also going to be tomatoes. And this one, and this one, there are going to be tomatoes in those beds. The green stalks will have my herbs. I'm going to do one whole tower of mint and peppermint, a tower with a mixture of cilantro, rosemary, thyme. So that's where all my herbs are going to go. And I'm going to try to keep it consolidated to there. Between the wheelbarrow and the metal pot and the ceramic pot, that's where I'm going to put my ginger and my turmeric. And then already planted out are the beds with the berries back here and the lavender. So that's the plan. I'll probably have grow bags with nasturtium, marigold, zinnias, and maybe some additional onions because I only have, oh wait, I forgot one. I only have this grow bed that's going to have onions in it. So if I have as many as I think I'm gonna have, I am gonna need additional space. So onions are gonna go there, and I'll probably put grow bag in this space with additional onions if I am successful. So that's just the idea of the floor plan. I keep all of my thoughts in a journal. I don't have any fancy app that I use for my garden planning, but it's definitely something that's beneficial to do so you know what things can go where. Like something that's gonna stop growing in June, you can throw something short that's gonna go through the summer, or something that's gonna be fall, you can throw that in there. So it really is helpful to know what your garden ideas are. I do thank you for watching this video and joining me on another garden episode. I hope you've enjoyed the content, and have a good day.